Hey, y'all, T141 here. Welcome to the Thursday night live stream. I hope everybody's doing all right. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you're here tonight and where you're from. I am coming live from upstate New York, the town of Ava on the Tug Hill Peninsula. A big shelf of rock known for its snowmobiling and four-wheeling and skiing and all sorts of cool stuff. And mostly, though, it's known for the home of the T-Han 141 Homestead. No, not really. One day, maybe. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. And tonight, in the background, you might hear my brother Trevor is here. He is getting some wood split up and a load of firewood from the homestead. I was going to help him, but I was scheduled to live stream and didn't want to get all sweaty and stuff. And hey, it was a good excuse not to get out there and work. But anyway. So how is everybody doing? Hey, Ram, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Hope everything's well with you. You coming any closer to finding a new homestead site? Hopefully that's working out for you. Rem is my buddy from New Brunswick, and he crazy days here, but you're okay. That's good. Have you made it any closer to finding a new homestead site? I haven't been on to actually watch YouTube for a while. I actually don't even have a video to come out with tomorrow. I'll make it tomorrow morning and we'll post it out there. House is still for sale, but I have a plan to move them. Oh, nice. That's good. Get all your animals moved and stuff, even if it's just temporary. That way you don't have to start all over again when you get to the new homestead. Hey, guys, just to let you know, I put it out there on Facebook. Tonight you can get a special savings code for your animals. You can get a special savings code, 25% off on the whole entire Redbubble site. If you go to this website, let me see if I can. Let's see. It's not going to let me. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and grab the site. And then I'll put that right down in here. And use the Durrochando, DERROCHANDO at checkout at this website right here. I just put it down in the bottom. Durrochando at use that code at checkout, and you get 25% off any merch. This link here will take you to my store, but the code is good for anywhere on Redbubble. So have at it. Make me rich, man. Update on Wendy. Let's see. Wendy is doing a lot better. She was quite ill, sick to her stomach, and cramping up in her abdomen area. And the doctor says that they think it was probably some kind of viral infection. She did not go to chemo last week. this week she will be going to chemo, God willing, tomorrow. And she's feeling much better. But yeah, even I had a touch of it, I think. And it really sucked. Just, I was a little sick to my stomach, a little queasy, a little lightheaded. And I just didn't really feel like doing anything, which is nothing new, but the queasiness and the sick to my stomach was new. But we haven't been to church in the last 2 weeks. That tells you how bad it is, because we love and we miss our church family. And the support. We got a card from them today. That was really nice that they were thinking about us and praying for us. But so Wendy's feeling better, and hopefully tomorrow she makes it through chemo without a hitch. My mom is doing a lot better. My sister is still up for a little while yet. And helping out. She's taking care of my mom. She's taking care of things. She has taken so much off us. But my mom just had her eyes operated on. Mom, if you're watching, or Tammy, if you're watching, I'm going to call you when this is all over to find out how that went yesterday. I should have called earlier today. Mom has cataracts, and they removed them and put new lenses on. She just got her second eye done, I believe it was yesterday. And hopefully that makes a huge difference in her life. Everything else that has been going, she got her shot for her back, the bulging disc that's pushing on her spinal cord. For some reason, it just poured down. I don't want to say pestilence. It poured down ailments on Mom for the past couple months, pretty much the summer. And we're very blessed that Tammy was here for that, and Terrellyn was up here to help out. And we're very thankful for that. But yeah, so that's Wendy. The little chick is running around fully feathered, looking good. Tammy was actually here. Some forgot to take when we went down to do some shopping in Rome. I put the home phone on call forward because I don't like carrying it around with me. It makes me feel like a drug dealer carrying 2 cell phones. And so I put it on call forward. And then when we got home, I forgot to take it off call forward. So my mom and Tammy were trying to get hold of me for like a day and a half and could not. They got worried. And Tammy came up. Forgot where I was going. Tammy came up to check on us and make sure we were okay. I forgot where I was going with that, though. Where was I going with that? Anyway, you can tell how wonderfully prepared I am for this. So today we went through and cleaned on the house and tried to get caught up on some housework. I still am, I'm going to say 2 cords short of having all I need for the winter of firewood in, but we're working on it. Oh, yes, that's where I was going. Tammy was sitting where she could look out the window over the garden, and she goes, "Oh, that's beautiful." And then she said, "Is that a hawk?" A hawk had landed on our, I have a corner post. Those of you probably how awesome Tammy is. Yeah, probably. Hi, Beth. But a hawk had landed on the post that I have our weather station on, and was about to come down on the chickens. The chickens were running around underneath it. So I went out, and by the time I got out there, it was gone. So I politely hooted into the woods and asked it politely to leave. Haven't seen it since. It'd be cool if that would work, huh? But what are you supposed to do? Got to protect your livestock and flock, and you know what? What do? You ask them politely 12 times to go south. That's what I do. We're counting down the days for the pigs. I believe it's on the 19th of October. We take our pigs for butcher. We're going to be taking the other pigs before that, so that we can get the trailer up here and get my pigs used to going in and out of the trailer. That way, we start feeding them in the trailer, and they just go up in and out of there by themselves. We throw some food in the front of the trailer. They run up in there, and we close the gate behind them, and we don't have to wrangle pigs. I do not like wrangling animals. I'm not good at it. Beth, have I told you how awesome you are, by the way? You have been on so many of my live streams, and so supportive in all that, in everything I'm doing, and you are awesome. I want to let you know that. Oh, stop blushing. Oh, but yeah, I've been working on the books, the low content books. I decided I might try my hand at actually writing a book. I don't know, fiction. Stephen King, I ain't, but I've got some life experiences I can write. It'll be a fiction book, not true. But I'm just trying to figure out how to do that. And I've been working on the online store at Redbubble, and I've got a couple of them going actually. So you might be taken, if you use the website, you might be taken to Teespring. It wasn't all that funny, Beth. I'm serious. You are awesome. But yeah, so now what do y'all want to talk about? Oh, there's my 15 minutes right there. I am working on so many different little projects for the YouTube channel and for the online store. So please bear with me. I'm trying not to get overbearing on selling stuff. How's the garden? My garden is green, my friend. My garden is green. Yeah, my harvest was light. We got, I don't know, a nice basket full of tomatoes. I got a nice basket full of beans, but I did not harvest them in time. So I just saved them for seed for next year. A bunch of them that I got, I didn't do anything with, and threw them out to the chickens earlier today, as a matter of fact. I harvested my Swiss chard and gave that to Mom and Tammy, because the Swiss chard I grew for Mom anyway. She said, boy, I'd love some Swiss chard. So we went ahead and got the Swiss chard and grew it. The onions I'm going to leave in the ground for another year, because the the sets, you know, they went from that big to that big, you know, and I'm thinking that they can do better. They can do much better than that. So I'm thinking of leaving them in the ground this year. I have to go through and weed the garden. The strawberries did awesome. The tomatoes did good. And the what do you call it there? First thing that comes up in the asparagus is doing good, and we added to the asparagus beds. But yeah, our harvest was very light. All the red stuff, yeah. Yeah. Our harvest was really light because when we put the new septic tank in, and the leach field and all, we kind of got rid of the raised beds, and we went to the back to Eden garden method. But all that black gold that was in the raised beds kind of got buried, and so our vegetables had to kind of fight to grow. I am in the process of amending the soil. I got one load of manure, pickup load of manure. The guy said I can get as much as I want. I plan on going back and asking him for some more. And I'm going to try to amend the soil in the areas of the beds where I plan on planting things. Because you go from this hard clay into about eighth or a quarter inch of beautiful topsoil that the wood chips are making, and then you're into the wood chips. But I haven't been out there to weed or anything. See you later, Trev. Have a good one, bro. So I haven't really done anything. We got kind of busy this year with between Mom and Wendy, and I just all that work I kind of let it go. But that's okay because we have these cool things called farmers markets, and friends that have given us tomatoes. We put up 18 pints of salsa. And then to go with the salsa, I just recanned a gallon of nacho cheese to mix with the salsa. You take a pint of the nacho cheese and a pint of the salsa and mix it together, and you got some seriously good munchables to dip your tortilla shells in. The thing is I am trying to lose weight because fat man just keeps getting fatter, and a lot of that is just extra wasted calories. But I'm doing that anyway. Let's see. So yeah, we go to the farmers markets and pick stuff up. We still have peppers and onions, a gallon of peppers and onions that we bought at the bulk store, that we break down into pints like we do with the nacho cheese, in order, because two people aren't going to eat a gallon of peppers and onions. So I have not even got my license this year to hunt, and so I'm pretty sure I missed out on my doe permits. But I do plan on getting my license, but I have not been out to scout. I've got a couple places that they're not sure things, but they're strong bets. I can go out any evening, and if I sit there for 4 or 5 evenings in a row, I will at least see a doe. But if I don't get my doe permit, then that leaves muzzle loading season, which will be opening here mid-October, mid to late October. So I'm hoping to do some of that, but honestly, when Tammy leaves, I'm going to be concentrating on keeping Mom company and up to date, and just helping her to fit into the new routines. And then getting Wendy back and forth to her doctor's appointments. You got plenty of moose, but not many deer. Yeah, we had moose on the Penny Settlement Road. Some people got a picture. There have been moose hanging around. I'm really hoping, oh man, am I hoping that they reestablish a population of moose in and around upstate New York, because that would just be fantastic to be able to hunt moose. My father went to New Brunswick, I believe it was, to hunt moose. He got a cow. He always wanted to go back and try for a bull, but and Trevor and I always wanted to take him, but we just never got around to it before he passed away. But hey, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Once things get settled down, maybe within the next 4 or 5 years, hopefully. Yes, we will do an exchange program. I'll invite you to come do some deer hunting, and you can invite me to come up and do some meese hunting. I was watching a video the other day of 2 moose walking. It was When Nature Calls with Dame Helen Mirren. It's just a funny little thing, little show on Hulu. And Dad, I'm a moose and you're a moose, but together are we meese, like mice or geese or whatever? It was just hilarious. Anyway, but yeah, that would be really awesome. To tell you the truth, I haven't hunted a whole lot in the last 5 or 6 years since we moved up here to the homestead, partly because preserving, we have a small chest freezer in Beth and Trevor's basement that they let me put down there. And so preserving the meat, and canned venison is great for some things, but you can't can ooh, no, that's all right. 450 pounds of moose meat. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah. But part of what happened is, my hunting party died. My stepfather, who was the core of the family, passed away 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I was a member of a hunting club, and up on further up on Tug Hill, and we hunted that hard for several years. But the deer, you had to catch it at the right time, because the deer migrated down out of the high country and down more into the valley, and yarded up. So we hunted that hard, and then when we moved up here, I don't know. There's something about a bunch of guys getting together to go hunting, or to sit around talking about hunting and stuff. And when I didn't have that, it kind of took a back seat to everything else. And I really want to get back into it because it is part of my heritage, and a big part of growing up was hunting and listening to the stories of my uncles and cousins, and it is just an awesome thing. And I want to keep that going. My oldest grandson, I don't think he hunts. My youngest grandson, he is probably going to be a hunter. He loves firearms. He loves guns. And boy, oh boy, he is something else. He's always coming up and saying, "Papa, you got your gun on you? Can I see your gun?" um, the, uh, but yeah, the hunting is actually pretty good up here. Like I said, I've got a couple spots. One of them in particular I can think of where if I went and sat for maybe 5 evenings, I would come home with a deer. I missed a beautiful 8-point one year, and the reason I know he's an 8-point is because when I missed him, my bullet killed a sapling about 3 inches around right in front of him, right in front of his heart, and he ran down the gully, and somebody else shot him. Made a series of videos about my hunt. Everything happened too fast though, and I didn't film the moose before it was on the ground. That is something that I am scared of. Is trying to incorporate the filming with the hunting. But you know, I've posted videos. If you go way back on my channel, I've got videos of me just sitting in the tree stand, watching the chickadees landing, and just enjoying being out there. But then when stuff starts happening, it starts happening so fast. I've always been a meat hunter, and my top priority is putting meat in the freezer, and but I might try it. But with my luck, I got a chest harness for my little action camera, and with my luck, I'll hit that and it'll tingle and tangle and spook any deer away anyway. But yeah, I do need to get out there and try to videotape some hunting, some tracking, and some stuff like that. I got to make sure that Trevor's up for it though. He says I'm only allowed to hunt when he's off work because he usually has to go help me track him. Well, what it is I shoot a deer and it runs, and I track it to the best of my ability. But then there have just been times when I haven't been able to track it, and Trevor is an awesome tracker. What do we have besides deer? Big game. We have white-tailed deer. We have black bear. We don't have a season for moose yet. They're way too rare. It's really exciting when you see them. But then we would go down to small game. Rabbit season starts in mid to late December once the trapping seasons for fisher and stuff goes out, because you don't want the dogs getting into the trap. Then we have partridge, squirrel, rabbit. Partridge is it's a quail of sorts. We've always called them partridge. And let's see, there is migratory game bird hunting, but I have never gotten into that. Something about getting federal permission with the stamp that you got to get just never sat right with me. So yeah, our big game is white-tailed deer, black bear, and I guess there is open season on coyotes. Yeah, gray. Yeah, brown and gray wild chickens. Yep. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that we have big game. Primarily, it's white-tailed deer. We do have a lot of them when you get down into the valleys. And in recent years, they had started issuing doe permits really liberally. And I remember my father telling me that when you take a doe out of the herd, it's like killing, 4 or 5 deer. We have 2 seasons for black bears, but never tried to meet. We only have the 1 season for black bear, and we have to be there's a certain area. Once you get so far up on Tug Hill, I believe I want to say it's Route 26. You can't hunt the black bear because they have a hard time digging and making dens, is what I've always been told. We also have turkey. Our turkey populations have grown severely in the last decade. I remember back when I was a kid, you didn't even think about hearing a turkey, whereas I've been able to harvest several turkeys over the years. But for the most part, it's the white-tailed deer, and then we even though we have a bear season, I've never really heard of anybody coming to this area for a specific bear hunt. I'm sure they do. The problem is up near Old Forge, you have a lot of city bears, I guess you would say, town bears, and dumps. Oh wow! So the turkeys are moving up there too. That's nice. My father always said that he was told that turkeys were really greasy and they weren't very good meat. Hey Thor, how's it going? Long time no talk. Yeah, absolutely. But then I don't remember if we shot one or if there was one given to us, a turkey, and Mom cooked it up, and it was just fantastic. So I started hunting turkeys. I love the calling part of it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, what else? I mean, you've got predator hunting, the coyotes, and trapping. I really want to get into trapping. I think it would coincide with the homesteading life because we have a healthy population of fisher, mink, and we used to call them well, they're short tail or black tip tail weasels. Yeah, we have turkey hunting in the spring and then in the fall. But most of our hunting seasons are between late October and December. Um, Partridge, rabbit, squirrel. Rabbit is more varying hare and snowshoe um, that lasts through until right up through February, I believe, with the rabbit and stuff. I love partridge when you take and wrap the breast in bacon, and cook it up. Oh, it nice golden brown. I'm making myself hungry, but yeah, that's something I need to do is to get my license. I made the mistake years ago. Oh, Wendy took her headphones off, so I probably shouldn't say this. I made the mistake years ago of getting married during the prime of the rut on November 18th, when the buck go into full on rut. But and we can't bait in New York. We have to we can use scents. Um, partridge and let's see. Partridge and rabbit starts October 1st and goes to the end of December. Rabbit actually ends at the end of February. Yeah. Um, and then Darren had an explosion of grouse. Tons of them. Yes. We get a lot. I hear a lot of grouse um, thumping their wings around here. My wife has invited my brother-in-laws and stuff up to hunt. The problem with that is we only own 20 acres in a pretty severe triangle shape. Um, so when you're hunting, grouse and partridge and stuff, it's going to you're going to need to cover some ground. But I found that hunting, my friend Matt raises beagles. He has a prize winning line of beagles that oh my goodness, some of the best dogs in the country to hunt over. Um, uh, the main sire was from a friend of his dog Winston, and Hogan was Matt's dog. That this dog, you would go out and within 10 minutes you would have a start. It was just amazing to watch this dog run. He is like 15 years old, 14 or 15 now, and he's not doing too well. So pray for Hogan. But he sired Jonas and Bella, and that's when I started coming in the picture to hunt with Matt and Trevor. And Jonas and Bella, their training and stuff, I was able to observe and watch, and hunting over these dogs. It is just amazing to be out there. You're on 4 foot of snow on snowshoes, and you're listening to these dogs run a rabbit, and then you see the rabbit, and everybody says, "Oh, you're running rabbits with dogs. It's cruel." No, because the rabbit comes up and he'll stop there and he'll start licking his paws and everything, and then he'll look back behind him. The dog will be baying and following the trail, and then the rabbit will trot on it. They don't even run fast. Unless something happens and the dog gets right up close to the rabbit. Very rarely do you see that, for the most part. But yeah, I love rabbit hunting. I haven't done it in several years. Archery for the deer and stuff. For the deer and bear, we have archery seasons. Now in New York State, for the last few years, you can use crossbow. And that is something I want to get into because, well, Daryl on Walking Dead is an idol of mine. Talk about apocalyptic movies. But yeah, so um, so you can hunt with crossbow. We have more. Our seasons are kind of based around the firearms more than they are the deer or the animal. We have archery season, muzzle loading season is last a couple weeks, or I don't know if it's muzzle loading or primitive. Yeah, it's muzzle loading season. And then you have rifle season. You have northern and southern tier in New York. In certain areas, you can only use a shotgun with slugs naturally for the deer and stuff. But while you're out deer hunting, and you see a coyote or a black bear, you can go ahead and harvest those. While you're out rabbit hunting and you flush partridge, you can go ahead and harvest those. It kind of interlocks and stuff. But yeah, I think the amount of hunters for a while there, we were building up hunters. A lot of women were getting into the hunting, and then I think we're starting to see where it's not being passed down to the kids in the same way as it was. We used to have a rifle team at our school. We used to have a trap team. And now with the negative stigma that our government is trying to place on firearms, we're just not seeing the amount of transition from the older generation to the younger generation. And the negative stigma, guns kill people. Guns are dangerous. When I was 7 years old, my mom met this guy, actually, literally, his name was Guy. And she ended up marrying him. He's my stepfather. And he's my father. I mean, it's just the way it is. And one of the first things he did with me, we went hunting, and I had my little BB gun, and he had his 22, and I remember I got cold, so he started a fire, and then he showed me his marksmanship, which was really awesome. He said, try to shoot that leaf with his 22. And this is, I'm just, 22, that's a big gun, and that's a man's gun. And I shot and missed, of course, and he shot that leaf right off the bat. I mean, it was just amazing, and I was hooked. We used to trap shoot. Millerbrook Fish and Game Club used to, I believe somebody made it into a camp now. Some memories. I got people's names in my head: Clarence and Marge Lampman. I'll never forget. Boy, you look hungry. Go buy yourself a hot dog, or go buy me a soda and get yourself something too, and how was that? I used to have a T-shirt. Trap shooters do it 25 times in 5 positions, and turkey shoots, and boy, I tell you, firearms and hunting in the outdoors has littered my development. I mean, they have just covered it and been such a big part. Some of my fondest memories, I had a gun in my hand. And that was back when, you come home and it's the kid's job to clean the guns and put them back on the shelf, or during hunting season, there, Paz 300 was in the corner all of hunting season. It was unloaded, but you knew not to touch it. That was Pa's gun. That was a firearm. You respected it. Before I went hunting for the first time, really hunting for the first time, where I actually carried a firearm other than a pellet gun. Pa walked me out back. You can't do it anymore because there's a house way back there, but and there was a little old dump where the neighbors had put a they dumped their freezers and old refrigerators and stuff like that. And Pa had filled a gallon milk jug and set it on the and he filled a gallon milk jug with water and set it up there, and he had me shoot it at, I don't know, it might have been 10 yards or whatever. And he said, that is what that will do to a human. They always prefer to hide dangerous things rather than teach how to use it. So, yeah. Well, yeah, it's the dumbing down. If you can depend on yourself for sustenance, then you don't need them providing it for you. You're not dependent on the food chain, the grocery chain, which they control. I don't know if this is happening in New Brunswick or around the country, but in New York, we're starting to hear about shortages of meat, and shortages of all sorts of things. There are certain things like gas and stuff like that you can't. Well, I guess you could with biodiesel and stuff, but for the most part, you are dependent on the system. But with the food and stuff, they can control that really easy. In fact, I watched a video on YouTube about a year ago now, 2 years ago, or no. Yes, it was right after our current administration took over. A rancher actually had the Department of Interior come in and tell him he had to cull his herd down to so much because they were only going to purchase X amount of cattle from him. And he found out later from what he said, now this is secondhand anecdotal, but that there was a big ship full of beef in one of the harbors, and they had to arrange for our supply to go lower so that ship from China could be unloaded. I know it's unpopular to diss China, but they're not America. They never will be. But yeah, so yeah, if you can defend yourself, see, our Constitution is protected by the citizens and the veterans who have been trained to use their firearms aggressively when needed and in defense. Our Constitution depends on that Second Amendment. Before they can mess too much more with the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, they've got to get rid of the Second Amendment. Before they mess with the Fourth Amendment, the right to be secure in your person, and that extends to your house and I believe your car. Yes, I believe without your consent, they need a warrant to search your car. Before they can violate that, they need to eliminate the citizen population with firearms. And it goes right down the line to, to all of the rights that, see, there people are saying, being taught now that the Constitution of the United States was given to uh, to give. They're saying that the Constitution of the United States was given to empower the government and tell the government what it could do. No, the Constitution of the United States was given for the sole reason of restricting what the government can do. In the Declaration of Independence, it says, everybody knows life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The problem is, right after that, it says, and that governments are instituted, and that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. The government is not given to rule you. The government is not there to keep you safe. The government is not even really there to provide infrastructure. The government is there to protect your freedoms, and they're doing a bad job of it. We had a president back before the Orange Man. We had, I believe it was Barack Hussein Obama that referred to it as that pesky Constitution. Well, yes, it's pesky because it will not let you oppress us, but they are going about it. In the United States, I don't know how this is in New Brunswick or in any other country. We are experiencing an ammo shortage, a huge ammo shortage. Now, we have been assured by the presidents and CEOs of the ammo companies that they are in full production. But I'll be darned if the shelves aren't bare. What happened was when Donald Trump lost the election, or between November of 2020 and January of 2020, and new administration took on, millions of previously neutral or even anti-gunners went out and purchased firearms. And why purchase firearms unless you're going to purchase ammunition? So we have multiplied in a big way the amount of gun owners and people who require ammunition, and our supply chain just was not ready for that. During the Obama administration, I remember distinctly, I believe it was in Pennsylvania, there was a lead smelter that was the number one lead smelter in America, in the United States, and the administration regulated them to the point that they had to close down. It's a backdoor to gun control. Another reason I want to get a crossbow, because Wendy tells me I won't look as good as Daryl on The Walking Dead with a crossbow, but I still want one, because then I won't be dependent on ammunition, and you still get a good, I'm going to say 100 yards on a lot of them is a nice, effective range on crossbows. Not to mention they're quiet, so the zombies won't hear. But yeah, I know Canada, our neighbors to the north, have had their own bouts with the gun control crowd. And I just know that I have this strong feeling that it won't be long until the Second Amendment is not done away with, but rendered moot, non-effective, because we will not be able to get ammo, or parts, or new guns. I mean, man's wife asked him, how many guns do you need, honey? He said, just one more. And so next day he comes home and she's in the closet, and he says, man, how many shoes do you need, honey? And she said, just one more. Just one more. And you know, it's funny because our president had said something, and on January 6th, there were some, I'm going to say, misguided citizens that assaulted the Capitol. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. We're not there yet. God willing, we'll never be there where we have to use any sort of force against our fellow citizens. And that, you know, our president, man, oh man, my mind is not, I grasp something and then I lose it. But our president said something about we wouldn't stand a chance against the United States military. Guess what? I 100% agree with you. There is no force that currently exists that is large enough, skilled enough, or trained enough to, or equipped enough to take on the United States military. When the United States military is properly utilized, Afghanistan. But yeah, I don't think we would have to take on the United States military. I don't think that the United States military, who is made up of individual United States citizens, would fire on other United States citizens. Absolutely. I believe that our soldiers would lay down arms. We're already having an awakening. I feel bad. We have a colonel who apparently is out of confinement now, but he came up and he criticized the chain of command, of whom the president is on top of, and he offered his resignation and everything. They confined him anyway. When you're in the military, the government owns you. You are a government issue. That's where the whole term AGI comes from. You're a government issue. They own you. You do not have the rights that American citizens have. And the Uniform Code of Military Justice is very different than the civilian justice system. But you do have the ability to deny unlawful orders, to refuse them. Anyway, I did not mean to get off on that tirade. Anyway, guys, if you've gotten any entertainment from this video, whether you're watching it now live or you're watching on the replay, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribing is and always will be free. And I could really use the subscribers. I'm up to 214 subscribers, and the goal is 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 watch hours. Why? To be monetized, so that then you get to watch commercials when you see my stuff. I've noticed they've put some commercials on some of my stuff already, which is good because apparently it's some pretty good stuff. But anyway, to Thor and Darren and Remy and Beth and anyone else who might have stumbled onto our little conversation tonight, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are much appreciated. I am going to go ahead and go before my voice is totally gone. And Remy, I'm going to take you up on that moose hunt, and we'll get you here for a deer hunt. I just got to let things calm down with Wendy and my mom, so it might be in a couple years, but we're on for that for sure. That would be awesome. You have a good night, and hey, keep on keeping on. That's all we can do. All right. Y'all have a